Listen, everyone.
Make it big.
We are so honored and excited because right now, live to tape through Arlington.
You're listening to StageCraft. Today we're welcoming Teen Mortgage. We're super excited.
Should we go around the room and do like our names?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Should I just talk loudly so I don't actually have
Oh wait, Ed needs a mic.
So, for the viewers playing at home, those who can't see what your setup, can you describe your drum set?
It is pink and covered in fur.
Nice.
Fake fur.
And is that a tone decision? Dampening?
It is not a tone decision whatsoever.
Yeah.
It was a really old, cheap drum set that I covered in fur from Joanne Fabrics.
Nice.
We are not endorsed by Joanne Fabric.
Yeah, big fabric.
But you could be.
It's possibly a missed opportunity. It's a market I don't think that they've tapped into.
Yeah.
That's right.
A lot of DIY crafts and punk rock, you know.
Yeah.
And before we started, we were talking about that Gretsch. It's a lovely guitar. How did you settle on Gretsch?
I went in the shop and this one was a cheaper Gretsch, and I liked the way it played in the store, and I was like, that one. So
Yeah, if the neck feels right, that's like
totally, man.
most important.
It's already set up, you know, when I bought it, kind of thing. So
Nice.
And
And your pedal board. How did you settle in on what you have right now? Oh, I love me a big muff. That's classic.
yeah, man, for sure. I did it this way. I had someone kind of this dude like Ash that I used to play with. We did like a similar kind of group to what we're doing. Me and Ed do, but he was like, wouldn't it be cool if we, you know, like had a signal splitter and one went to the bass and one went to the guitar, and then it will sound really big. And then we, you know, because we were like going through all the like we had like a revolving door of musicians that we were playing with, like guitarists and bassists, and we were just like, it'd be so much cooler if it was just two people. And then I moved away and just kind of kept doing what I'm doing.
Well, definitely, Josh Holm of Queens of the Stone Age, he's been known to use Ampeg, like bass cabs, and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's tried and true. And to describe that in more detail, we got a big muff and a Pog, like a later generation Pog. And then you got your vocal delay. And are you running through that Boss multi-effects as well, or is that just...
Right, yeah, so,
that's your...
so the signal splitter is where I'm going into directly from the guitar. And then the A side is my bass tone, so I've got an octave pedal and a bass distortion. That is the big muff, the bass big muff.
Word.
And then on the guitar side, it's a Boss ME70. I've had this for like over 10 years now, so it desperately needs replacing, but I've been able to beat it up for like that long.
Yeah. Something to be said about reliable gear.
Yeah, man. Like, you know, we're a two-piece. We fit everything in one car. It's, you know, we're very much like trying to be economic, I guess. And make everything feasible for us to quickly do things. So so that's definitely part of that. Process.
Before the show, you mentioned those quick turnovers and having to change up, get on stage quickly.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a necessity, and sometimes, circumstance, we're thrust into that as musicians.
Yeah, I think, like, how many times have you played and the monitor situation wasn't perfect? Or, something affected, every time in every room. So it makes it so much easier when it's just one guitar, one drums, one vocal,
Yeah, and I dig you've got the control over your echo machine for your voice, right? That's takes some of the variable out of the live performance.
The slap. I love the way that sounds. It's just all the good people do slap vocals.
Yeah,
like
dude, I have the same vocal pedal. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
Because you can control how you're going to sound on stage. You don't have to rely on the sound people to get it right.
Definitely.
It's been a game changer for me. And when I saw that you had this, I was like, yes! It's legit.
Yeah.
It validates it, yeah.
I think it takes the vocals to a higher level, too, because it's not like just dry through the PA. Like, it kind of gives it some character, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Totally. Great.
So I had some just, like, baseline questions that I was curious about you guys. So, James, you came over from the UK, right?
Yeah.
What brought you to this area?
Before I came to this area, my family had I'm like what they call an expat. So expatriate means you left your country or whatever. So my family we lived in like Chicago. We lived in northern Florida. And then I moved back. I had a girlfriend who was from this area, and we played music together. And then that didn't work out, and then this worked out. So we're just still working it out.
Where are you from in the UK?
I'm from just outside Liverpool, a place called the Wirral. Yeah.
And how did you two meet again?
Craigslist.
Literally
Missed
met
connections.
Yeah. Men seeking men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bear meetup group.
That is the other band.
Just kidding.
But I just was browsing Craigslist, kind of just this form of like self-amusement. Like I said, we talked about this a little earlier that like you can kind of go on there and look at postings and see how people have been burned in past like band relationships. You know, it's just like must have pro attitude, must not be a drummer. Or like,
Must not be a drummer.
well, I meant to say must not be like a druggie, like must have like equipment, have a driver's license, et cetera, must not be Craig.
What about James? Wait, James, were you the one that posted the listing?
Yeah, so I had posted 2 recordings from like a band I was previously in, and then was planning on like just continuing to do those songs, and so I came across it basically and hit me up. It was like, oh, I like your song, so yeah, that was it. Men seeking men.
Yeah, the whole that's just can just be music in general for like cis guys. That's how we relate to each other. Do this or sports, and I don't think either one of us really likes sports. So
Well, you're a power lifter, aren't you?
Of sorts. I don't actually compete, but like I do power lift.
Still really cool. Do you feel like that like comes into play in your music in any way, or just like helps you with the mental discipline?
Yeah, I mean it's something I've been doing for as long as I do music, like part of it's just like just maintain my own health, so I do care about like lifting and weight training and like kind of all aspects of it. I think the powerlifting part of it's just like the more fantastic to look at.
Got it.
But like I care a lot about just like fitness in general. I lift with another actually competitive lifter named Rich Jaron, who's been like USAPL ranked nationally, and we're kind of joking about we can't wait till we get to like 40 so we can enter the Masters division. They actually say that like when you kind of get into like your more competitive sports like later on in life, you actually tend to have a longer lifespan than like people that get into it early. They kind of hit it really hard and burn out. So it's more common now that you see people in their 40s, 50s, and like even people up into their 80s that will be powerlifting.
Yeah.
I think I always have you on for the lifting. We've had a jiu-jitsu champion on, so
Yeah.
we're
We'll
not
just
just
have,
all
like,
about music.
Weights in here and how to pick up stuff. But then James, you're a skater too, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
then James, you're a skater too, right?
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah!
And we were just talking about how you guys got that awesome like van sync.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool for sure.
We got some news coming out too. We're gonna be dropping a video with Superstone skateboarding. Hey Don.
Oh yeah, it's me.
Yeah, I was thinking about just grabbing it like off the thing. All right.
Hell yes.
Now I have a mic.
Nice. Yeah. So back to the skating.
Yes, let's talk about skateboarding.
Yeah, because when I first, like, one of the first times I met you, you guys played at Lake Ann Skate Park or something like that.
Yeah,
like
Lake Fairfax.
Yeah, Lake Fairfax.
Yeah, that was sweet. Yeah, I don't know, like, skateboarding definitely introduced me to a lot of music. Introduced me to a band called Grey Matter, who I know Don has worked with. One of my favorite parts ever, Ali Boulala, Flip Skateboards. Sorry video. They use a song. They used two songs actually. They used I Am the Walrus, the Beatles cover they did, and one of their originals, Burn No Bridges, and that like greatly influenced like my music and my tastes. So
that's
very
so
full
cool.
circle.
Yeah.
When you're at the skate park, do you ever come up with riffs in your head like, oh, I wish I could be skating to this, and then write it after?
Kind of like the feeling, yeah. Like there's definitely like. I think that's why it's always towed the line between a sport and an art, because it, like the videos and the music and the rhythm of it is such a element of it. So yeah, definitely like there's a lot of great songs that you hear like the Dead Kennedys and things like that, with that like kind of surf thing to it, like that makes you think. It makes you think of skateboarding almost. Like I think culturally, you maybe think about like Tony Hawk games, like where they had songs in those games and things. But,
playlists, yeah.
Yeah, and like Holiday to Cambodia. I remember like Jeff Grosso put it so perfectly. Like the intro is like you dropping into the ramp, and then it like you come in and like it just works. Like
Has it lent you kind of a surf punk vibe to some of your
yeah,
songs?
like yeah, definitely. I mean, I've always surf guitar is like. That's like the style I've always loved, and like I think even like the Mersey beat kind of bands like Liverpool bands, like they kind of had like the beat like George Harrison, there's a lot of surfy kind of things he does, or the Shadows is a great British group.
Oh yeah,
surf group.
Comanche, Apache's
brilliant.
That's
Apache's
great
really good.
Too. Yeah.
The Searchers, there's loads of them. So I think it just like kind of came full circle, maybe. Like it was like familiar but new. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So,
yeah.
Funk things very big.
That culture is like heavy.
Between those two, it just seems like we've kind of like converged on an active lifestyle brand.
Yeah.
Like most of the syncs, aside from the like Shameless sync we've got, have all been like mountain biking, skateboarding. It just seems to be somewhere where we take off.
I'm waiting on that Mountain Dew. Dude.
Extreme sports. Yeah.
Like I know Ed like would love Mountain Dew if you're listening. Diet Mountain Dew. You can pay us in that.
Mountain Dew Zero. It's probably the best one.
When you're powerlifting, what do you listen to? What gets you through it? Motivates you?
I mean, it varies, but I do listen to a lot of like stoner metal and like doom. I just feel like it really helps with the pacing of lifting a lot of the times, because it's very heavy, but it also has like a groove to it. So it's like if anyone ever sees me in the gym, I'm very calm, but I'm almost like dancing in between like the lifts.
Nice.
But I really like whatever is good. Like it's a good opportunity to run a lot of albums. So that's where I get a lot of my music listening in is either like when I'm walking or
your intake.
Yeah, my intake's all like lifting or doing something active mostly. So it's changed a lot of like what I listen to on a regular basis. I think when I was in college, I listened to a lot more like extreme music, like really long form songs, drone, more like cerebral kind of music. And then now it's just through sheer like circumstance, it's become more centric around stuff that has a certain pace to it. And when I would do like running and stuff like that, I would specifically choose bands that almost acted like a metronome and kept my pace. Because if I listened to stuff that was like too hyped, I would just
totally
haul
down
the road and then be like, oh no, now I'm out of breath.
I totally get that.
Yeah. So I have like kind of a joke thing I do on my Instagram that came off of one of my friends joking around about my home gym. It's called Doom Fit. So it's mostly just posting like whatever my lifts are to like, you know, whatever music I'm listening to at the time, which is usually like, you know, stoner metal or doom, but it's kind of like anything. And I've kept it going still as a joke, but you know, it's you know, it does get some other people's music out to people. It's turned up people onto things, so it's kind of served like a dual purpose, you know.
Sure, exposure, new information.
Of that genre, one of my favorites, prong.
Yeah.
Snap your head, snap your neck. I love it.
Yeah, prong.
Great beat.
Caius.
Oh, cool.
Caius is a big one. Monolord.
Fu Manchu.
Can go on forever. Yeah, Fu Manchu like crosses with like skate culture too a little bit as well.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the album cover is Tony Alva.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I know who that is. No, you don't.
I don't. No, I just nod my head a lot of times during like the skateboarding conversations.
Lords of Dogtown?
James doesn't really chime in with the powerlifting conversation, so it's kind of like, you know.
No, I just go, sick, dude.
We've got like married
all
couple
about
vibes.
You're listening to StageCraft. Today we're welcoming Teen Mortgage. We're super excited.
Should we go around the room and do like our names?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Should I just talk loudly so I'm actually
Oh wait, Ed needs a mic.
I'm convinced that if you create your own spell, it has a greater effect on your life. But very many people don't have the confidence to do this as beginners. So I think a simple spell is to light the flame of a candle and to sprinkle a circle of salt around the area that holds the candle and you. And then write down on a piece of paper what it is you want to accomplish in a very simple statement, maybe a sentence or two. And then burn this in the flame of the candle, all the while concentrating very dynamically upon the effect of the flame. And when you have burned this to an ash, then you know that what you want is about to come your way. The main purpose in the practice of witchcraft is to generate within yourself a very high level of energy that will then carry you successfully through all situations. So the main point is to psych yourself up and reach some kind of an emotional, physical, intellectual high. And this is done through a very rigid, disciplined method of performing a ritual. The people who say they are witches, and there are very many thousands of them in the United States, may or may not be witches. That I don't know. I haven't gone through any spiritual
monologue.
Fu Manchu.
Can go on forever. Yeah, Fu Manchu like crosses with like skate culture too a little bit as well.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
I mean, the album cover is Tony Alva.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I know who that is. No, you don't.
I don't. Now I just nod my head a lot of times during like the skateboarding conversations.
Lords of Dogtown?
James doesn't really chime in with the powerlifting conversation, so it's kind of like, you know.
No, I just go, that's sick, dude.
We've got like married
all
couple
about
vibes.
Okay,
We're just like, okay, he's got his hobbies.
Yeah,
Right.
right. Keeps him happy.
Well, you guys
ever-
are also in. Well, I don't know if do you have any other projects, James? I know you were in Del Florida before,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like a while ago, and then you got tired all the time.
Yep.
Ed, but what is it about Teen Mortgage that keeps you guys coming back and like wanting to create music together?
It's just simple and fun. I think like our approach, just because it's two people, it just makes it like easy to progress and like easy to accomplish goals.
Yeah.
You know, rather than when you have like 3 or 4 people and, you know, like one person out of 4 people or 3 people, whatever, can't do it, and you can't, and then all of you can't do it. Do you know what I mean? So I think, you know, it's like one vehicle, one hotel room. Like, you know, it's really easy to do it. So
Simplicity.
yeah, and for me as a songwriter, I don't have to deal with anybody. Do you know what I mean? Like going, oh, I don't like that chord, or like, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
I wrote the song like this, and you can play it like that, or you know, not be in the band, and they're not in the band. So there you go.
Yeah.
Right.
It lends itself to more advantages than it does disadvantages. We definitely give up some things logistically being a 2-piece, but you know, it really made me reevaluate whenever I'm like looking to start a project or work with people. Like the more people that are involved, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. You know, not to rule it out entirely, but
Why mess with success? I mean, you do 2 different genre preferences. It has melded into something that's really good, really catchy, fantastic music.
yeah, I mean, it's like it's nice that it kind of blended together. I think that we got like a little heavier when we started working together compared to like what the original songs were, but it wasn't like we did that consciously. It just kind of happened through melding of the personalities, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
How do you guys typically write your songs? Like, James, do you come up with something on guitar or like a vocal melody or something, and then Ed, you come in, or is it like a product of like a jam session, or what's your process like?
It's probably a mix of both. I come in with a song that I've already done, and then and we have times as well, yeah, like we kind of jammed the song out, and then like I'll rewrite stuff too. I'll drive him crazy because I'll just like rewrite the song like 3 times.
Yeah.
And like, cause like it'll be like a good idea, but it's not like, you know, like the aesthetic isn't there, or like there's something about it that just isn't hitting for me. So, you know, I'll do it until it works. Like there was that song "Smoked." I rewrote the lyrics that like 3 times.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Shangri-La. I wrote the music to it twice. So it was like a completely different song with the same lyrics.
Completely different.
Or not
key.
even. It was actually like this. It was a chorus and then completely a different song. So
How did that like morph in your head? Like, how did that take shape?
just gradually, like, you know, it's like we had the rhythms to it kind of thing, and then we had like the refrain of like my Shangri-La, my coup de grace, had that bit, and then I just kind of changed it up where it was about like police, and then I kind of made it about, you know, like consumers and consumer culture kind of thing.
Yeah, I love that song. It's a great opener.
You're listening to StageCraft. Today we're welcoming Teen Mortgage. We're super excited.
Should we go around the room and do like our names?
You don't need to beat nature into submission. Why be hostile to nature? Because after all, you are a symptom of nature. You, as a human being, you grow out of this physical universe in just exactly the same way that an apple grows off an apple tree. So the existence of people is symptomatic of the kind of universe we live in. Just as spots on somebody's skin are symptomatic of chickenpox.
Stay tuned for Chicken Man and the Flower Power Hour coming up later on at 9 o'clock.
I have to say, WERA they have amazing programming. And I'm not just kissing.
Yeah, they do. You're listening to the #1 show.
It is, I was lost, and now I found my station because it is like listening to HFS again.
Ed, I read the piece you did for Recommend If You Like. Is that what it's called?
It is. It
okay.
is, yeah.
And you were talking about how you love Boris. You didn't pick a song that you wish you wrote, but you picked like a whole artist that you wish that you're a part of and like all their albums. But one of the things that I thought was really interesting that you wrote was that you like going to the studio and like getting your ideas down, but you hate that process where you're like constantly tweaking it and mixing it to sound like industry standard. Like you said something like,
it's going to sound dated for sure, like what we're up to.
Oh, well, I was just going to say something that you said was like, I'd rather just like put the thing out there and worry about if people like it or not later.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if like your latest EP, which you guys said you kind of did like all in one take, and it was like raw. You didn't really like get to go back and put in new stuff. If you got that feeling from doing that, or for your next EP, are you going to be doing something different or?
Yeah, I mean, that was more like an influence of like Justin Day. That's kind of like how he like wanted to record us.
Right.
They said James has a like certain idea of like how he wants to record. I am like a little different. I think I even mentioned it that I'm like a little bit like removed from like audio quality. It's a little bit of a tug and pull. It's kind of one of the things I wasn't sure whether I conveyed it in the article or not. That like it's kind of approaching like industry standard. It's almost like a necessary evil. It's something like having like a relationship with money. You know, it's like it's seemingly what's necessary to kind of like survive in like the current market. But then there are exceptions out there. It's like there are stellar albums from bands like Boris or like the Mountain Goats. Like initially had like a whole swath of these awesome records that were just ostensibly audio quality not great, but they were just really strong songs. So it's like I feel like an ideal world you could just spend less time just working under those constraints if it's limiting your creativity, so it's just kind of they just never really abided by that model, it seems. And I think that's kind of like what I was envying, but it's like I don't think it's a model that works for everyone. Like I think I was discussing the whole concept of that with James like in the car a while ago, about how like it's like just because someone does something doesn't mean that you're going to be able to do it, like given your limitations. It's like, some people have circumstances or gifts that not everyone's going to have,
Facts.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know how Boris arrived at that other than just sticking to their guns and just going with what they felt like doing. But, it's like, say, like if you're like an athlete or something, it's like there are just people that are, for powerlifting, there's 17-year-olds that are out there ripping like 700-pound deadlifts,
Yeah,
right. And then there's people that will like, work their entire life and never pull that, So, yeah.
So for this, do you have another EP coming up soon? Are you guys like writing or like in the studio?
We're writing at the moment. We've got kind of a lot of things in the works, definitely. I think we're just gonna start releasing some singles. So that way we can kind of just put more effort into like each song, the promotion. Because like the thing of it, it's a singles game, so don't hate to play, hate the game.
We never really stop writing. It's just we're in a constant state of it. It's just like at some point in time, we get to get some studio time and like actually track the ideas down, Yeah.
So how will your approach for this next EP be different? Because I know, James, you said like, I just wanted to play those thirds. And I couldn't get those in when we just did the one take.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd like to just do it more like direct in, I think, less like live. I don't know. I just want to make like something sound like kind of just hi-fi, really. I kind of want to separate the live sound from the recorded sound, and just like I just want to make a really good record. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
It's always like a balance to it. Like there's other two-piece bands or just bands in general that have this question where they have like extra instrumentation on the albums and
production and all that.
Yeah,
right.
And you just kind of look at it like it's like two different things. I like being somewhere in the ballpark that's not going to like blow you away that it sounds like a completely different song necessarily, unless we're trying to make it sound like that live.
Right.
But the record is sometimes a different thing than the live performance. Like you're trying to capture like all the energy that you would see in a live performance and then just the audio, And I think for us, it's like, I think the live performance has been one of the things that's really kind of gotten us over with people is that, it's, the songs are conveyed through that form probably the best.
Yeah, it's multimedia for sure. Performance, like StageCraft. Yeah, it's multimedia for sure. Performance, like StageCraft.
One of our constituents, Joey Harcum, who's in a band called Pasadena in the past, and he's just Joey Harcum now. Like is quoted as saying, like he views a record like a flyer for a show.
Yeah.
Which from a monetary standpoint that makes sense too, because like you're not usually making money off of records.
Mitch Hedberg had a line about the comedian about flyers, giving them out. It's like going out to the public and saying, "Hey, you throw this away for me."
Yeah, you throw this away.
Yeah.
So I know before the pandemic, you guys had like a cross-country tour kind of plotted out, right?
Well,
we had a couple dates. We definitely had some dates that got cancelled.
I'd almost forgot. We did have a tour that was planned. we had a bunch of like festival dates that were planned.
We were supposed to play with we were supposed to open for Richie Ramone.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And it didn't happen.
Yep.
Oh man.
Bummer.
He's coming back, but it's a different promoter now. So
Yeah.
if you're listening,
Get T Mortgage on that bill.
we were already on it.
we could rehash.
Restore the bill. But
we could rehash all the opportunities that were canceled during that period of time.
that's not why I brought that up. I was just gonna more talk about like the marvel of you guys like maintaining that momentum even through the pandemic. And I was gonna ask you like, how are you able to do that? Like, what are you guys kind of aiming for now, coming out of it as things are opening up again?
Go back on the road. Pretty much, that's like the thing we're trying to do. We just released singles. We had Such Is Life. We released that.
Yeah.
Was it 2020?
That was
the
the first single we could actually like squeeze out, and like that was recorded kind of like in a Frankenstein way, where we did some of it someplace and then had to get the drums kind of mixed somewhere else, and
we did like some online content. That's how we kept it going. Was we were just like any other band, right? We did that, and then we did like a live stream with our friends in Meth Rats. Can't remember the name of the other band, but they were cool.
We never really considered stopping. It's like when everything got shut down, all the live dates like got canceled. We were like, well, I guess the only thing that we have left to do is just start recording, which so gave us opportunity to actually go into the studio. And once we could secure like studio time, and that got postponed because our audio engineer got like COVID at one point. And
we got the Wammies too, didn't we?
Yeah, we got the Wammies,
Yeah.
and then we got our syncs on Shameless during that year too. So it's like a bit of luck, and then like we never considered stopping what we were doing. So it's not really it's not really an option, I think, in our heads. Although it is an option, it's not an option.
I know what you're saying. So what are some of your upcoming shows? I know before we started taping, you had like a lot of stuff going on, so I wanted the listeners to kind of hear.
So our next DC gig is probably going to announce by the time this is on. We're going to be playing a 420 gig with our friends Destructo Disc, who are in Richmond now, but they used to be in Winchester, Virginia. And both of us are going to be supporting A Deer and a Horse.
Just A Deer a Horse.
A Deer a Horse?
For anyone listening.
Oh, yeah, I always...
A Deer a Horse.
A Deer a Horse and Team Mortgage.
So a deer and a horse walk into a bar.
Yeah. We're doing Spaz Fest down in Greenville, North Carolina, which I'm also going to be doing the following day with my band Tired All the Time. We're going to be in Lancaster, Pennsylvania at the Launch Music Festival and Conference. We have a few other dates that are coming later on down the line that aren't announced yet. Oh, we're playing Buddy Fest. This is what happens when I'm not looking at my my calendar. Buddy Fest is a festival in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
That's the 5th?
That is April 2nd.
April 2nd, yeah.
Yeah, April 2nd, and that's also with our friends Meth Rats, who keep saying Meth Rats. They're fantastic. Listen to them.
We'll have to have them on.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then...
they're smart as they sound.
Yeah. I also mentioned I'm doing dates with Tired All the Time too. So Tired All the Time is going to be at Spaz Fest as well. We're also going to be playing with Tiger Cub in Baltimore on April 14th at Metro Gallery with another awesome band called Nub. We're going to be playing April 16th at DC9, opening for Man on Man, which is it's a new band that came out during the pandemic. That is Roddy Bottom and Joey Holman, who are a married gay couple. That made an amazing band. And be really happy to do that. Roddy Bottom is known for being in Faith No More and Imperial Teen. And then we're also going to be playing, I think, April 23rd at Comet Ping Pong, opening up for Empath and Clear Channel.
Awesome. You guys got a busy schedule, goals for me. So we just you just rattled off all these amazing band names, and I'm in the process of figuring out my next band name because I feel like my band has outgrown the Dad Legs thing. But and there's another Dad Legs.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think if they sued us, they'd have a better claim to the name. Not that I don't know how famous we're gonna get, but thinking future stuff. But
you want to be Googleable.
yeah, that too.
Yep.
But how'd you guys come up with Teen Mortgage?
So it's basically like a joke about debt. Like there's Banksy did an art show called Dismaland, and it's like a joke on Disneyland. It's like a post-apocalyptic like Disneyland, and there was a piece in it called pocket money loans. So it's like over here they call that an allowance. So it was like the joke about how payday lenders and
predatory
predatory advertising and things like that. And I just thought when I came over here with like student debt and like I didn't have a credit score and I didn't understand what that was, and I remember Ed had explained to me his mortgage, and he was like talking about equity and escrow and all these things. Yeah. And I was just like, oh man, I need like a teen mortgage to survive, like I need like a baby version of it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love names that just come about like that, so like organically, like in conversation, and also I really love that Dismal Land inspiration. I had no idea. That's so sick.
Yeah, Dismaland's super tight.
You're listening to StageCraft. Today we're welcoming Teen Mortgage. We're super excited.
So this is StageCraft, and we really haven't spoken too much about your guys' StageCraft. Like, who are some of your like guitar heroes, drum heroes? Like, who do you like when you get on stage? Who do you try to like become possessed with the spirit of?
Alden Penner from he's in a band called the Unicorns, but he did a lot of stuff where he would play like a bass line and a melody. So he definitely had like an impact on my guitar playing. Tony Iommi, obviously, very big influence. Who else? Johnny Marr. I'll throw Johnny Marr in there because I love Johnny Marr.
Well, we already covered Boris. That was one.
Oh, John Dwyer of the OCs. I'll just completely sell myself out and let everyone know that I've got the delay on. John Dwyer from the OCs, big guitar influence.
Nice.
Yeah, just realized I did the delay on, so that probably sounded great.
Your inspirations?
I mean, I feel like it's too many to name. I mean, as far as drumming, it's like I don't really.
Travis Barker. Ringo Starr.
Travis Owen, who drums shortly for Weed Eater. Anyone that's like ever seen him play for Weed Eater can be like, oh yeah, that guy, probably a Travis Owen fan. He's a very theatrical drummer. And then as far as like technicality, there's one drummer, Antonio Sanchez, who's like, as far as like people that are like phenoms within their art, it would be Antonio Sanchez. He's like drummed for like Pat Metheny, but he's also like composed for movies like Birdman. So like the drumming in that movie is absolutely fantastic. It almost like took me out of like the movie because I was like, this drumming is just incredible. It's also like he doesn't mean he's technically very good, but it's more about like how he approaches the instrument and how like expressive he is with it, and like he kind of like it really plays off of like experimenting with the kit and like getting as many types of voices out of it as you can over top of just being complicated. Yeah, man, I don't know. We were inspired by both new Black Sabbath and old Black Sabbath.
That's cool. Are you guys inspired by Insane Clown Posse?
Yeah. We didn't want to mention them because we rip them off so much.
And their fascination with magnets. No, honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
You guys were some juggalos for Halloween.
I mean, it ain't a costume.
You guys are juggalos.
Oh, yeah.
You will be at the gathering.
I think we applied for it. I didn't
actually apply for it yet.
We went to the March of the Juggalos.
Yes. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
We went
so did Ian Mackay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's the only time I've ever been to the Lincoln Memorial in my life.
Yeah. I mean, like, I know I talked about Boris earlier, but like really ICP are kind of like another group where it's like they really had success in just doing what they wanted to do. Like, you know, there was like a horror rap like scene in Detroit at the time, but you know, they're like described as like the most hated
like group in music.
Yeah, they're the most like DIY group in music. If when you think about it, on a large spectrum, like no radio, and like for the time, like in the 90s, have no radio, They probably had some MTV, I would imagine, like video play. But
originally, why they got MTV was they bought infomercials because MTV wouldn't play them, so that's how they actually like originally got played on MTV.
They're geniuses.
Yeah,
wow, that's cool.
They became like a little more mainstream. I think like as their peak, probably mainstream acceptance was like maybe like the late 90s, early 2000s. But I think that now they've even discussed it, like they're kind of like finally getting that like OG like recognition where it's like people are going like, oh, it's like it's okay to like whatever you like, and they actually do kind of get respect now. It's like they built a community basically.
Yeah, it's like everyone's like, oh, they're a meme. They're like, yeah, like yeah, we've been a meme.
The original meme.
Yeah, like the whole thing of it. Don't take it so serious,
And it's like they're they always played with people talking smack about them. It's like they're aware of it and just kept rolling. So it's like really a lot of respect to them for doing that. It's easy to take shots at people. It's hard to be the person that's getting shots taken at you and just keep going.
Yeah, that's very punk rock.
Yeah.
That is. We're
100%.
often comparing who's more punk rock, but I'm at a loss for a comparison.
I mean, I think it has to be something to be said for like the reception of music too, because like when you get fans like that connect to you and you're like a more niche thing, or you're just being really true to what you are, it's a different kind of fan than one that gets into you because everyone else likes you. Yeah. It's like there's sometimes a more superficial connection to it. That's why I feel like you get these bands where it's like they have like one song, and then their audience is like this large superficial like fan base, and then that one they actually listen to the record and they're like, oh, I don't like any of these songs, and then they kind of like end up owing money to the record label and then disappear. So sometimes if you go the hard way, it can work out for you.
So if we someone's new to your sound and wants to hear more, where's the best place to find out where you're playing and what's coming out? Would it be Instagram or is it Bandcamp, or where would you like people to go first?
Instagram and Facebook. You can find anywhere like bands in town, or have our listings, all that. Like the ones that generate. There's another one I'm blanking on, but
we
so
try to
tour
go.
Dates are on Instagram.
Yeah,
bands in town and
anything that we can get it on. Basically, if I'm really on top of it, I try to explore every single avenue. It's like
I'm always trolling all of them.
Yeah, like the spread of people that come to our shows is pretty wide. So it's like I like that aspect of it, that young people and people that are, have been like old school punks and old school like rock dudes and stuff like that all kind of seem to dig it. So
yeah, we're trying to play a nursing home. If anyone knows any.
Watch out, Sunrise.
Because see, they can buy the merch. Yes. They'll buy the merch. They got all the money, so.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's when we get
They'll buy a cassette tape.
All right, T Mortgage caught a charge for elder abuse.